Stop for a moment. Imagine finding a young boy in a cardboard box. No name, no family, no answers. In 1957 in Philadelphia, the body of a small boy was discovered in an alley. He had been beaten and abandoned. The identity of the child was unknown. For decades, no one knew who he was or where he came from. The boy became known as America's unknown child. Investigators tried everything: fingerprints, dental records, leads from across the country. But nothing worked. Even today, over 60 years later, his story remains a mystery. A small boy, forgotten and nameless. His death haunts those who try to solve it. And the truth may never be known. A family vanished, leaving behind $32,000 in cash. This is the Jamison family case. A couple and their young daughter suddenly disappeared. Their truck was found, abandoned in the woods. Inside, their phones, wallets, IDs, even their dog, barely alive. But the strangest part? Security footage. The family is seen loading the truck, slowly, silently, back and forth, for almost an hour. No urgency, no emotion. Like they weren't acting normal. Years later, their bodies were found, not far away, but no cause of death was ever confirmed. No clear explanation. Stop for a moment. Imagine a family that looks perfect on social media. Smiling, traveling, sharing happy moments. Hiding a dark, terrifying secret. In California, 2018, Jennifer and Sarah Hart, a married couple, took 6 adopted children on a trip. On the outside, they seemed like a loving family. But behind closed doors, the children were abused and neglected. They were starved, punished, and kept silent, forced to act like trained robots. 3 days before the end, authorities tried to check on the family. The children begged for help, but no one could stop what was coming. On March 26th, Jennifer intentionally drove their SUV off a 100-foot cliff, killing all 6 children and herself. Sarah was in the front passenger seat. The crash was deliberate, planned. The house is gone. The family is gone. And yet, the story haunts anyone who learns it. A family that seemed perfect, hiding horrors inside. Sometimes the truth behind smiles is more terrifying than anything you could imagine.
They didn't just kill her. They kept her inside the apartment. This is the Hello Kitty murder case. A young woman was kidnapped and held for weeks. She was tortured again and again by multiple people. Not hidden, not rushed, like it was normal. Neighbors heard noises, but no one stepped in. Then one day, one of them finally confessed. When police searched the apartment, they didn't find her body. They found parts, hidden, inside everyday objects. That's how long it went on. That's how far it went. He didn't just kill, he kept parts of his victims. This is the Tsutomu Miyazaki case, a quiet man in Japan who targeted young girls. But what police found inside his room was something else. Thousands of videotapes, stacks of horror footage, and boxes filled with remains. He didn't hide it. He collected it, photographed it, even wrote letters to the families, describing what he did, like he wanted them to feel it. But here's what's worse. To his neighbors, he was just normal, quiet, invisible, until it was too late.
5 children vanished in a house fire, but no bodies were ever found. This is the Sauter children case. A family home went up in flames overnight. Parents escaped. Some children made it out, but 5 were missing. Firefighters searched the ashes. Nothing. No bones, no remains. That's when things got strange. The phone line had been cut. A ladder was missing. And witnesses claimed they saw the children after the fire, alive. Years later, a photo arrived. A boy who looked exactly like one of the missing sons. The family believed they were taken, not killed. To this day, no proof, no closure. So tell me, did the fire hide a tragedy or a kidnapping? If you ever see this figure, don't look at it. In Japan, people call it the kunekune, a white shape, far away, moving, like it's waving. But here's the problem. The air around it is completely still. A boy saw it near a rice field. At first, he thought it was nothing. Then his brother looked closer, through binoculars, and instantly, he went quiet. By the time they got home, he was laughing, muttering things. No one understood. That's when their grandfather said, "Never look at it directly. Watching from far away is fine. But if you try to understand it, something inside you breaks." A few days later, the brother disappeared. No trace. So tell me, if you saw it in the distance, would you look closer?
She was recruited by someone she trusted, not kidnapped, not forced at first, groomed, promised money, a better life, then handed over to powerful men, private jets, private islands, and no way out. The betrayal, it wasn't just one man, it was a network, people in power, protecting each other, silencing victims. For years she spoke up, named names, faced threats, public attacks, but she didn't stop, because this wasn't just abuse, it was organized, calculated, and protected. So the real question is, how many people knew and chose to stay silent? They knew something was wrong and still did nothing. This is the Sylvia Likens case. A teenage girl was left in someone else's care, but inside that house, things started changing. Her condition got worse, day by day. More people became involved, not to help, but to watch. Neighbors heard things. People noticed signs, but no one stepped in. And that silence is what made it worse. Because this didn't happen in secret. It happened where people could see it and still walk away. Two sisters who refused to speak to anyone, not teachers, not family, only each other. And even that was in a secret language. They lived in complete isolation, same thoughts, same behavior, like one mind, split in two. Then things got darker, crimes, fires, no clear reason. They were locked away in a psychiatric hospital. Doctors couldn't explain them until one of them said something chilling. "We have to separate, or one of us will die." No one took it seriously. Then one day, one twin suddenly collapsed. No illness, no warning, just gone. And the moment she died, the other one finally started talking, normally, like nothing ever happened. So what were they really sharing? That only one of them could survive. She loved him, or that's what everyone thought. Then one day, he was found murdered in his own home, brutally. The killer, his ex. But here's where it turns. She didn't snap suddenly, she planned it. Photos later showed she was in the house the same day he died. Calm, smiling, like nothing was wrong. Their relationship? Toxic, controlling, explosive. He tried to move on, she couldn't accept it. And that's when love turned into revenge. What shocked everyone most? After everything, she still claimed she was the victim. So where's the line between heartbreak and something far darker? He built a torture room and left a tape explaining everything. Not a warning, a script. When victims woke up, this voice would play. Calm, cold, detailed.
"You're here because I enjoy it."
No panic in his tone, no rush, just instructions on what was about to happen. For years, no one knew. No bodies, no clear evidence, just people disappearing. Then one woman escaped, barely alive, completely broken. What she described sounded unreal, but it led police to a trailer filled with things no one should ever see. And that tape? It wasn't just for control, it was proof this was never impulsive. It was planned, repeated, and worst of all, he believed he'd never get caught. How many victims were never found?